morning and welcome. Welcome to worship at the Unitarian Universalist congregation at Shelter Rock. I'm the Reverend Dr. Natalie Fenimore, and I'm joined in ministry here by and alongside the Reverend David Carl Olson, the Reverend Jaye Brooks, and our student minister this year, Errol de los Santos. Yay. Today we are grateful for the spring sunshine and the warmth of this community. Whether you are a visitor, newcomer, or longtime member, you are welcomed here. Wherever you are in your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. In this community of justice seekers, we value diversity and we embrace the wisdom found in all faiths and cultures around the world and in this very room. We use science and reason, as well as our open hearts, to explore life's meaning and its many mysteries. To learn more about this congregation and about Unitarian Universalism, I invite you to see people at our welcome desk in the lobby or to visit our website online. And I want you to see all of the many things that are going on in this community this week, but I want to point out some special things and offer you an invitation. Sunday lunch, as always, is right after this service in the social hall. However, there is something that we usually don't do right after this service, and that is hunt for little plastic eggs full of chocolate on the patio and down the lawn. I do advise some traffic control around that, but feel free to get as many eggs as you can find. There are lots of them. And if you don't get them, the geese will. Please note that the organic gardening sign-up deadline is this Saturday, April 15th, and information is in the newsletter and online. Next Sunday, we begin our membership renewal season with a special lunch, and join us as we celebrate blooming and becoming here at UUCSR. In this spring, this special spring of Ramadan, Passover, and Easter, where they come together, we share the stories of faith and culture from these different but related traditions. Last night, UUCSR held a Passover Seder, and we'd like to thank all of those who planned and prepared under the leadership of Carla Dresner. And it was a great time had by all. I hope many of you who did not have an opportunity to participate this year will put it on your calendar for next year. And so now, let us worship together. I invite the Davy Shapiro family to come forward for our chalice lighting.
Good morning. We light this chalice, the symbol of Unitarian Universalism. This is a faith of the open mind. This is a faith of the loving heart. This is a faith of the helping hands. Together we take care of our earth and work for peace and friendship in our world.
Thank you. Would everyone rise in body or spirit as you are willing and able, and wear a mask to sing our opening hymn, number 371, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In.
Enter, rejoice, and come in. Let's take that energy and let's say the words of affirmation of this congregation. Big breath, and let's say it. Love is the doctrine of this congregation. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve human need. This do we affirm and covenant with each other. And now please put on your mask and sing our song of affirmation.
Each Sunday, we take a special collection for a nonprofit group that serves human need. During April, our offerings go to the National Religious Campaign Against Torture. It's an organization of religious institutions committed to ending torture sponsored or enabled by the United States. Shelter Rock has been a member of this coalition since its founding in 2006. The abolition of torture will make possible greater bonds of security, community, and human flourishing. Through faith put into action in collaboration with others of goodwill, a world free of torture is possible. Please be generous in support of this important work through donations this month. We hope to collect the Shelter Rock membership fee of $1,000. May compassion open our hearts and wallets.
Today, we'll hear two stories about caves and stones. There's the Easter story, which involves a cave closed by a giant stone that later is found miraculously rolled away. And in a few minutes, we'll hear the young people's choir sing a song about Daniel, a man who lived long ago and whose story is one that the Jewish people in the time of Jesus would have known. In some versions of the story about Daniel, Daniel is trapped in a cave that's shut with a giant stone. Worse yet, from Daniel's point of view, the cave was filled with hungry lions. But the lions didn't hurt Daniel. And in that telling of the old story, an angel rolled away the stone that kept him in. Think for a moment about what it would be like to be closed in a dark cave with no way out, with or without lions. And now, think what it would be like if someone rolled away the stone that was shutting you in and keeping the light out. Imagine the sunlight streaming as you walk outside. How beautiful the world would look. Wouldn't you feel happy and grateful, and as if anything were possible? Your heart would be open to all good things. Keep imagining that feeling as we hear the young people's choir sing, "Didn't my Lord deliver Daniel?"
Well, shoot, it's hard to follow that. I invite you to be in a place of centeredness and meditation. When I teach acting, one of the things I talk about is the body acting centers. And today we're going to think a little bit about the heart. The heart, in Latin, the word is cor. It's in French, of course, cœur. It's the word from which we get courage. So the heart is a place where we feel great courage. So I'm going to ask you to sit in a way that's centered and courageous. Take a deep breath. We have awareness, too, that there are places that the heart can be injured. We can be heart sick, right? It's a whole bunch of emotions that live here. They called it Easter because it was the time when we looked to the east, to the birth of the new year, that spring was arriving. And we're encouraged each day to look to the east and to feel the sun rising, the new day, the new possibilities. So I'm going to ask us to be in this heart place as we think of the new things after we get delivered from the lion's den. I ask you to just put your hands in a little heart shape. And I'm going to ask you to indicate your desire for that newness, that eastness, by just opening. Here we go. I know this heart will open. Second thing I'm going to ask you to do is get a little flutter in your heart. I know my fears will burn away. Try that again. I know my fears will burn away. And then the heart's related to everything, so this really is the soul, right? I know my soul will unfurl its wings. Don't mind looking up a little at that sun, looking up at that east, being in this heroic place. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. And back where we started, I know my heart will open. We're going to sing that song a few times. I know, you may have known it as I know this rose will open. We're going to sing, I know my heart will open. Thank you.
On Easter Sunday, people of the Christian faith celebrate the life, teachings, and resurrection of Jesus of Nazareth. The word resurrection means a return to life after being dead. And on this holiday, this holy day, Christians celebrate Jesus' return to life after death.
Jesus was a Jewish man born in Judea more than 2,000 years ago. His name in Aramaic, the language commonly spoken there, was Yeshua. Today, in American English, we say Jesus. As he grew, he worked as a carpenter. When he was about 30 years old, he had a deep spiritual experience that opened his heart. He began traveling and teaching spiritual values in the towns near the Sea of Galilee, north of Jerusalem. The central message of his teaching was love. He encouraged people to love each other, no matter their differences.
As the word spread about Jesus and his teachings, more and more people came to hear him speak. Some followed him from town to town, including the 12 who were his most devoted students, called his disciples. After 3 years of teaching in the countryside, Jesus traveled to the city of Jerusalem, arriving a week before the beginning of Passover. Many people in Jerusalem had already heard of Jesus. They gathered to welcome him to the city and placed palm branches on the ground before him. It was a royal welcome, like rolling out a red carpet.
Jesus' message of love and compassion for the poor was popular. Some believed that he was the Messiah, a Jewish leader who, like Moses, would free the Jewish people from the oppression of the Roman Empire. Jesus never directly claimed that he was, but this rumor made political and religious leaders of Judea and the Roman rulers think that Jesus was a troublemaker and a problem.
Later that week, Jesus gathered with his disciples to celebrate Passover. They shared the Seder meal, just as many of you did with your families and friends this last week. Jesus and the disciples remembered the story of how Moses led the Israelites out of slavery from Egypt.
Soon after the Seder, police came and arrested Jesus. The Roman governor of Palestine decided to make an example of Jesus in the same way the Roman rulers usually treated political troublemakers: execution by crucifixion. The very next day, Jesus was crucified and died on the cross.
And on that day, an unimaginable and terrible event occurred for Jesus' followers. They saw this good man, a man of deep religious conviction and concern for others, suffer and die. And God did not intervene. There was no miracle. Jesus had no divine superpower that allowed him to save himself. He simply and painfully died.
When Jesus died, the people who believed in him and his message, the people who had come to love him, did what people do. They mourned. They mourned the death of the person they loved and admired. They grieved for the suffering he had endured and for their own loss, the loss of their leader, their teacher, their companion. And they mourned the death of the hopeful future, a future of greater justice and freedom that they had hoped would come about through Jesus' message and his presence.
After Jesus died, a few of his followers who had stayed at the foot of the cross took his body down and placed it in a cave. To be sure that no one would disturb his remains, they rolled a huge stone in front of the cave entrance. 3 days later, before dawn on Sunday, One of Jesus' followers, Mary Magdalene, came to sit by the tomb and mourn the death of her teacher and friend. But when she got there, she found that the enormous stone had been rolled away and that the tomb was empty.
In the earliest versions of the story in the Gospel of Mark, that's where the story ends, with the stone rolled away, with the empty tomb. It was a mystery. Something out of the ordinary had happened. It was a promise. Something new is possible. And it was a challenge to think about the mystery and the promise and what it might mean for something new to happen in our own lives, for a stone to roll away and to open up our own hearts.
Later versions of the Gospel of Mark added a less mysterious ending. Mary saw a man standing nearby, and thinking he was a gardener, Mary said, "Please, if you have taken him, tell me where he is." Then the man said, "Mary." And Mary knew instantly that he was her friend Jesus, somehow alive again.
The Christian Gospels vary in their accounts of Jesus' resurrective presence. Yet in all of them, the disciples' grief was replaced with a sense of renewed hope and meaning. They went out into the world telling others about Jesus and his message of love and hope.
Today, more than 2,000 years later, we remember Jesus of Nazareth. We remember his courage and compassion in the face of death.
We remember Jesus because of how he lived and what he taught.
For those here who celebrate Easter and those who honor the tradition it represents, the Easter story is a reminder that the power of love is in all of us. Love ripples out from us into the world. Love lasts beyond our own lifetimes. May this love that never ends renew our spirits and bring us joy.
Amen.
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 So, let us imagine for a moment that our lives are like the baskets, the Easter baskets, that our children will use after the service to collect colorful eggs and candy. And as we welcome that imaginative connection, let us pause for a moment to accept a blessing. May the things you collect in your baskets, like the painted eggs and colorful flowers and Easter grass, bring you a new appreciation of beauty. May the things in your basket you collect, like chocolate and jelly beans, bring your life's sweetness. May your basket always be full enough that you are able to share your bounty with others, especially those whose baskets do not contain as much. May your basket be large enough to accept the occasional disappointment of an empty Easter egg. Or perhaps a sticker instead of a Hershey Kiss. May your life, like the egg before it is opened or the ribbon before it is untied, offer up new surprises that bring you joy. And finally, may your life, like the reeds of the basket, be interwoven with others, partaking in a community to celebrate all that is good. In the spirit of the little things that offer us cherished meanings, may our lives indeed be blessed. And with this blessing, I now invite our youngest children, ages 0 to 5, to go out and begin our Easter egg hunt. 0 to 5. The rest of you gotta wait. Believe me, this is for your own protection. You would not want to be between them and the eggs. I invite those of us remaining to rise in body or spirit and wear a mask to sing hymn number 61, Lo, the Earth Awakes Again.
Please be seated. Our closing words are by the Black American poet Langston Hughes. In time of silver rain. In time of silver rain, the earth puts forth new life again. Green grasses grow, and flowers lift their heads, and over all the plain the wonder spreads of life, of life, of life. In time of silver rain, the butterflies lift silken wings to catch a rainbow cry, and trees put forth new leaves to sing in joy beneath the sky, when spring and life are new.
And now we extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Yes, I'm sorry, I'm interrupting the order because I believe that the children probably don't want to quite wait. I can see that on their faces. And I also would like us, before they leave though, to recognize that we are gifted with another 99-year-old birthday, and that is Ronnie Aaron. So, if everyone could sing happy birthday to Ronnie. It's Ronnie. Yes, you got her. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ronnie. Happy birthday to you. And now, as our prelude will happen, our 6 to 99-year-olds are free to join the egg hunt.